Hi, I'm Ted from Everything Attachments, and we're back today with our next trial of the 4-blade cutter, and then we're definitely going to pull off the 2 short blades to just see how much difference that's having in the cut. I don't think it's a lot of the difference. It surely can't hurt anything. If I were cutting really big and heavy stuff, I might even prefer just 2 blades to keep it, to have a bigger hit between things that are large. You know, what's funny is this was a cutter that was sent back, and I had a little bit of a reserve about why we were taking this cutter back at first, because he said it cut everything he wanted to big, but it just left a poor cut. And we've sold thousands of these with very little anything to say anything negative about them, and we've never had one tear up yet. So we started getting a few of them that were saying a bad cut, and we figured out what it was. The blade pan was folding up underneath it. The hard ox was unsupported, and it was large, and it will flex, but it'll always go back to where it was, but at full RPM, and I cut it over 600 RPMs. The weight of the blades, being the drop down that they are, was simply flexing the center pan up. So we fixed all that with stiffeners. While we were at it, we added 2 more holes in the current stump jumper where you can add the 2 other blades if you want. We'll show you a picture of them. But we've got it to where last time we came over here was about a week and a half ago, and where we went, and Nate's gonna follow us on the drone. We'll go back over one pass of that, and it cut similar to a lawnmower. Then we'll switch over into the higher grass so you can see how it does there. And then once we get back over at the factory, we'll pick a 2-inch tree or something and mulch that up. But you can see how smooth all this hard ox is right here. It's perfect. And then when you get to the mild steel, which is still a grade 50 and is actually thicker than the hard ox, it's got dings and dongs all in it, beat up pretty good. So we may plate the inside of this with hard ox just to keep the dings out of it. The whole thing would be beat up if this wasn't hard ox, but this is some tough stuff. All the rear stuff is hard ox, and as you can see, instead of just sticking up a little ear and connecting both of these to one place, we put in a large piece here that can get a lot of grab with all this weld, and kept the 2 hitches separate. So when it bangs around, or you swing around and hit a telephone pole or a tree with this rear tail wheel, you're not ripping the parts out of the deck. That's solid, that's not going anywhere. These hard ox is not going anywhere. This hard ox yoke's not going anywhere. And these blades are tough. I went over this aluminum box right over here the other day, which is a phone box, which you can barely see now since it's the second time I've done it. But it ate the aluminum foam box to death, and I checked the blades and they were still perfectly sharp. Just checking on all the angles. The drive shaft has been chewed up in this. I found a ditch that I didn't know existed over here the first time I cut, and found a place where the grubbers had left a big hole. Almost got my tractor stuck, but used the grapple front lid to push it out, but got out. So after we get done with this cutter, we're probably just going to send it back to the original owner of it at no charge, just because it wasn't his fault that he wasn't unsatisfied with it, and we'll just send it back to him. We have refunded his money, but we'll just send it back to him as a gift, unless he doesn't want it for some reason. We keep trying to make these cutters better and better, and we are going to make bigger ones. One of the things EA does is ships pretty much everything inside of a truck. A 7-footer gets to be a really big animal, and I'm going to make one, and it will still fit inside a truck. We're going to have to make a sand, turn it up straight, so it just doesn't take up half the truck, or the freight's going to be ridiculous. So, and then as we progress, we'll get into the bigger cutters and ship LTL on an open deck carrier or something like that. But so what we're basically after here is just to show you how good the cut can be once you get it right. And so I think we can still take down 2- and 3-inch trees with no problem with this hard ox under stump jumper and blades, but still be able to leave a really smooth cut similar to a lawn. So we'll give it a shot with this, and we'll switch over with Nate with the drone where he can follow us around. All right, so we're going to engage the blades. We're gonna rev it up to about 600 RPMs, and we're gonna start medium range in first gear. I'm gonna bring it up just a little bit. We're dragging. That's too much. Okay, so Breeze pushed the drone into the power lines, and Nate recovered it. Has got it back going. You good to go, Nate? So he's right here. All right, we're gonna continue on. I'm gonna start the push hog, and we'll make a couple laps. Rev her on up. This high grass. Now the city used finish mower to mow the grass right at the edge of the road. For a one pass over this 5-6 foot tall grass, a finish mower certainly is not going to do it. Okay, so we went into the grass. Everything turned out good. We got this one tree here that was in the middle of our sign at our restaurant. We had 100-mile-an-hour winds a few weeks ago. It blew the outer casing around this, so we're going to take out this lonely tree. It looks like it's at least 3 inches at the bottom and then progressively gets smaller. But let's see how it does. Since it's out in the middle, we can all see it good. I am in low range, and we're just going to see what it does. I think I should be able to push it over. And 3 and 4 inch stuff's pretty tough on your average 6-foot cutter, but we're going to see. Alright, so then we're going to go a little lower. We may have to set it down on top of it and drag it now that it's pushed over. Make sure it's all the way down. I've got the speed set and slow on the way down. Alright, so let's see what it does if we go a little slower. I think the tire actually kicked it up. I'm gonna back over it, which is probably the worst thing I should do. I'll let it right down on it and back up. Come on down.